Today we're going to dive into one of the scenes from the Plagueis novel as we continue this Plagueis run, and it's where Plagueis actually went up against someone that was quite a formidable opponent, and that is Venomous. He was the Sith Lord who came the closest to actually taking Plagueis out and killing him way before Palpatine's betrayal. So let's jump right in because this scene is pretty badass. And first of all, if you're not subscribed already, there's about 60% of you that watch these videos that aren't actually subscribed, yet you keep watching. So feel free to subscribe and you'll start seeing more of my content. So first off, who the heck is Darth Venomous? Well, Venomous, or Venomous, however you want to pronounce it, was secretly trained by Darth Tenebrous, who was also Plagueis' master. So Tenebrous was playing both sides as most Sith do, training Plagueis openly while secretly preparing Venomous as a backup apprentice. Quite the classic Sith move, Palpatine did the same thing, and he always kept the competition fierce. So, Plagueis first meets Venomous under pretty mysterious circumstances. Initially, Plagueis actually thinks he's dealing with a Jedi. They meet on Sojourn, Plagueis' private sanctuary, and Venomous reveals himself as Tenebrous' second apprentice. This completely throws Plagueis off guard. "I am Darth Venomous," the Bith declared confidently. Plagueis, annoyed and disgusted, responds, "Darth, we'll see about that." And then the fight goes on. Venomous immediately goes all out. This isn't just some cautious sparring match. They're trying to kill each other. And Venomous fights aggressively, mixing different lightsaber forms, flipping and spinning his lightsaber between hands. But here's why Venomous is such a threat. So Tenebrous specifically trained him to counter Plagueis' fighting style. Every single move that Plagueis makes, Venomous anticipates and counters perfectly. Worse for Plagueis, Tenebrous had made Venomous an expert in Plagueis' style, and so the Bith could not only anticipate but counter Plagueis' every move, reads the book. So imagine that, facing someone who literally knows your every move before you make it. It's like when Obi-Wan was fighting Anakin on Mustafar, except far more calculated, less emotional, and way more technical. And at one point, Venomous actually lands a very serious hit. Venomous penetrated his defenses, searing the side of Plagueis' neck. This is a very big moment in the book, because Venomous actually didn't just keep up, he actually wounded Plagueis. The battle moves quite fiercely across the forest, through trees, over streams, and atop ancient ruins. It's quite the cinematic fight that I would love to bring to animation or a little more realistic one day. And if you haven't seen my animations, make sure to check them out. I have different playlists on the channel. But essentially, the fight was very cinematic, incredibly intense, and quite prolonged, with Plagueis realizing that he could actually lose this. And here's where things get really interesting. Plagueis decides to change tactics mid-fight. He does something absolutely insane. He completely disconnects from his physical body, essentially puppeteering himself through the Force as if his physical form was merely a puppet. Realizing that the fight could go on indefinitely, writes the book, he took himself out of his body and began working his material self like a marionette, no longer on the offensive, instigating attacks, but merely responding. This is Plagueis at his most terrifying. He's no longer just physically fighting, he's playing mind games, allowing Venomous to exhaust himself. And it works. Venomous starts fighting harder, less carefully, becoming desperate. Plagueis sees this opening and brutally strikes. Plagueis came back into himself with such fury that his lightsaber became a blinding rod. A two-handed upward swing caught Venomous off guard, scorching him from chest to chin. Venomous' lightsaber flies out of his hand and Plagueis snatches it, effectively ending the duel right there. Plagueis, sensing a buildup of Force lightning in Venomous, calmly crosses both blades and demands surrender. Venomous, completely defeated and desperate, drops to his knees. "I submit, Darth Plagueis. I accept that I must apprentice myself to you." But Plagueis doesn't take apprentices lightly, especially ones that just tried to kill him. Instead, he force feeds Venomous a deadly plant, poisoning him, but keeping him alive just enough for dark side experiments. It's pretty wild and very cold. It's a very chilling reminder of just how the Sith operate and how Plagueis was pretty ruthless. His mantra was always trust no one and dominate everything, everyone. After this, Plagueis keeps Venomous comatose and imprisoned, essentially a living lab experiment, testing the boundaries of life, death, and midichlorian manipulation. Darkside alchemy at its peak. Plagueis even reflects coldly, "You may be Tenebris's most important gift to me." Venomous' near success in defeating Plagueis is critical. It reveals how vulnerable Plagueis could be, foreshadowing Palpatine's later betrayal, that he can be killed, he can be bested. But because Plagueis is such an intellectual as well as a powerful opponent, he was able to think his way to winning. It's a very big moment because it's proved to Plagueis and to us that no matter how powerful a Sith Lord is, there's always someone else lurking in the shadows waiting to strike. There's always a bigger fish. You see how everything's starting to rhyme in Star Wars? It's beautiful like that when you start to draw the connections. But what makes this fight truly epic is that it shows the absolute extremes that Plagueis was willing to go. So the fight against Venomous wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. Plagueis fought to prove that he was the rightful heir to the Sith lineage, not just through combat, but through dominance over life itself. Venomous was not just another rival, he represented the last direct challenge from Tenebris. Plagueis defeating him wasn't just victory, it was validation, that he is the rightful heir. So imagine if Venomous had succeeded. Theory time for a minute. No Palpatine, no Sidious, possibly no Galactic Empire as we know it. Instead, the Sith lineage might have been radically altered, changing Star Wars history forever. Venomous could have been the one mentoring Palpatine, or someone else entirely, creating a drastically different dark side legacy. Palpatine would eventually have sensed Maul, and that would have come to be, and perhaps we would have gotten, a different timeline with those two, while Venomous was out there. And I'm sure he would have sensed them as well. But as always, what do you guys think? Could Venomous have ever truly been the Sith Master that Tenebris envisioned, or was Plagueis always destined to surpass him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy this kind of video and this deep dive. Subscribe for more if you haven't already. Like I said, there's 60% of you that haven't subscribed yet you're constantly returning to watch videos, so hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoy the future content and of course the Vader fan film. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, remember, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, the Force will be with you, always.